in YouTube land, and welcome back to the channel. And today we're at Mancuso Power Sports BMW, and we're gonna test ride this beauty. And we have to hurry because we're leaving. So this is the BMW R 1250 RS, which is a bike I always wanted to ride because it's a sport bike, but more of a sport touring, and it has the boxer engine, so which is pretty weird. Now this one does have the 719 option, whatever that means, but coming back down from the K1600, this feels like a very light bike. Oh!
What bike you ride?
Oh, I thought it was this one. Which one we're doing now?
Yep, you're on that bike. You're good.
Okay. So before we continue with the test ride, let's talk about some specs on this bike. So the engine is the legendary Boxer Twin from BMW that has shift cam variable intake control. It's a 1,254 cc's engine that produces 136 horsepower and 105 pound-feet of torque. The chassis is a steel tube, a frame with load-bearing engine steel tube subframe. And the front suspension, it's an upside-down telescopic fork with no adjustability, it appears. Rear suspension is a cast aluminum single-sided swing arm with BMW Motorrad power lever, wad shock absorber, spring preload, and it has a whole bunch of adjustability. Now on the brake side, twin disc brake, floating brake disc, 320 millimeter in the front, and then single disc brake with 276 millimeter with a piston floating caliper. It does have the BMW legendary lean angle optimizer ABS. Now the price on the bike, MSRP is $15,995, but as tested, $20,095. Now back to the review. Alright, so these bikes have this awesome feature, which is you click on this button to power it up, and then you start it up. Oh. Now, like all Boxer engines, shaking from side to side, but it wasn't a bad shake like on the R19. This one felt a lot smoother. Something I didn't talk about on the last video with the mirrors. They're pretty good. And on these, they're also pretty good. Now it is pretty hot. This one does have an adjustable windscreen, but I don't know, it's manual. I have no idea how to adjust it. First thing, getting on this bike, you feel that it's lower to the ground, lower than you would expect from a sport tourer. And the engine is low as well, so you don't feel all that weight. Pretty nice. Let's see how, and also the dash. The dash from BMW is great. You have all the information. It does have different options. We'll keep it like that now. Right, so the shifter, when it engages, it feels a little bit agricultural. That was a little bit rough. Just like this engine. I don't know, man. For a bike like this, an engine that shakes like that, it's weird. Alright, so this one does have the friction zone a little bit easier than on the K1600, but for some reason the K1600 felt easier to maneuver at slow speeds. This one does feel a little bit more top heavy, that it does want a drop, and maybe it's because of those big engine cylinders that just pop out. Okay. So let's go. Let's see how this bike rides. I don't know if this one has a quick shifter. We'll soon find out. Yes, it does, and it's pretty smooth. And just like I was expecting, I do not enjoy the way the engine. What's going on here? These guys are going that way. We're going this way.
Who are we following? Are we going that way? Or are we gonna... Who are we following? This is chaos. Well, I'm going this way. Qué pinche desmadre traen, güey. Following. Well, this is chaos, so but it's time for us to talk about the bike. So the bike has a very cushy seat, and it does have a lot of room to maneuver, which is good. So if you want to be like this, and it's very sporty, or you just want to relax and just cruise around like this, you can get up front like this. So very nice Cushy seat. The suspension does feel a little bit more road oriented than sporty. So that's one of those things that it's a sport touring bike. I do feel like the suspension is nice and soft. Now when you do move it from side to side, it doesn't feel as sporty as the big bike because it's 1600, which is weird.
Saying what weird?
But it does feel sporty enough so that you can have some fun. Now, as a difference from the other bike that I just rode, this one you feel like you're more on top of the bike than on it. Alright, so if you want to be like getting on the side of the tire, I think you can, because it has this clip-ons that are pretty wide and pretty high, but are still sporty. So I guess ergonomics wise, this will be like the perfect bike, so that you can be comfortable and sporty at the same time. But the thing that I do not enjoy is that engine on the type of bike that this is. The bike feels very premium, and then the engine feels very old school, and it's like, I don't get it. Maybe if you like I mean, I can do it, but I shouldn't. So I'm riding people I do not know. But anyway, it's a demo ride or a fucking competition. Because if it's a competition, I'll kick everybody's butt. So anyway, what else? So the tires on this bike and the whole suspension setup, I think it's great. It's the type of bike that you would want to be on for miles and miles on end. Now, although I do feel like I'm a little bit more aggressive than I would like if I'm going to be for more miles than I'm used to, right? So yeah, this is a type of bike that is nice. I enjoy riding it as a demo. Has a nice engine if you're into that type of engine. The Boxer Twin goes from side to side. It just feels old school, has a lot of character, but I don't think it belongs in a bike like this. It has all this technology, and it feels pretty sporty, but I don't know. I love the look of it. I love the idea that you can put some saddlebags on it, go touring. But if I'm gonna buy a bike like this, I would go all touring, because it's like half and half. And actually it has three halves, because it's one is the half that is sporty, right? So it's not as sporty like, let's say, my Suzuki, even though it's a naked bike. And then so it's not as fast and it doesn't feel that peppy. And it's not as comfortable as, let's say, the K1600 I just rode for my Harley, right? So for touring, it's not as good. And then premium and technology wise also doesn't feel like that. So it has like all these elements that are good, but altogether it's not a bike I will buy. I'm sorry, BMW, but on this one you do need to come up with a bike that is sporty and not as expensive as the S1000RR, but with an engine that is modern. I don't know, that's what I like. That's why I think a competitor for this bike, which will be the Suzuki GSX S1000 GT, I would just blow this bike out of the water. Just the way it feels, just the way it handles. And so yeah, it's not a bad bike, but for the budget and for the type of bike it is, I think it's showing its age, because this bike has been around forever, and that engine configuration as well. So yeah, I don't think this is a bike that BMW is going to sell a lot of because of that. All three things that it does good, but it doesn't do anything great. And then everything that you want to customize on it is not really going to make it special. It's just going to be more expensive, right? Like these engine casings that, yeah, they're nice, but I mean, you can go without it and nobody's going to care. So yeah, I can't say I'm really disappointed, because I think this is the exact type of experience I was thinking I was gonna get with this bike. And ever since I started looking at bikes, I didn't know anything about them. I saw this bike and I thought, oh, that would be the greatest bike to have. But then I started learning about engines and engine configurations, and then I started doing demos. When I rode this engine, I just think it doesn't make sense, a bike like this with this engine. And then it doesn't drop as well as the as either my bike that I rode on today, which is the Suzuki, the GSX 1000, my Suzuki, or Jesus Christ. And then there's the, that's a terrible fucking quick shifter, man. Terrible quick shifter. Well, yeah, the quick shifter, you saw it, man. It's not me. It failed from first to second, gave me neutral, and then it failed from third to fourth as well. So yeah, the quick shifter is pretty terrible. It's not a good quick shifter. I think I'd rather ride without it, because it was pretty bad. And then there's this noise. There's a lot of noise coming in from this bike. These guys are riding staggered. They're riding like an MC, like they know each other, which is such a bad idea. This is a way to get into an accident. All these idiots that they think they know what they're doing. Well, if you knew what you were doing, you wouldn't be doing that. The way the whole chassis feels weird and old, and the engine as well. video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, if you liked the video, to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell button, and share with all your friends. If you don't like the video, well, share with all your enemies. And I'll see you guys on the next one.